that's an interesting concept. How big of a role managing risk is in the work, right?
Huge.
So much of what we do in local government is managing risk. A lot of that is legal risk, but I think too often we stop at the legal risk. Like we go so far to try to prevent or limit, minimize legal risk to the detriment of the bigger picture and the bigger vision. And to me, it needs to be a balancing act.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. What's one thing that you learn in project management is risk analysis is not just what can go wrong, but what can go right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one of the messages that I like to share is I think that we, as a society, as people, this is going to go off into philosophy that, I tend to do, is we need to grow up. We have a generation of children, and children have half opinions. This is a Scott Adams term. Half opinions are, we should do this. Well, why? Well, to every opinion, you need a full opinion has two sides. So to say, well, we should mitigate risk is a good thing to say, it's a good thing to do, but a full opinion on managing risk is to what end, to what goal? Because you can manage risk and do nothing as a city, but the goal is to deliver services. Like you said, it's a bigger picture. So managing risk is, we got to manage risk, but we have to deliver services. And how do you balance that? And it's not intuitive for a lot of people, especially not government staffers. Again, your role is kind of similar to mine, where it's just not a traditional path. So you understand that there is a big picture, there is an objective. But when you're raised in here's your box and here's your formula, and I'm not saying that that's everyone, but it's a lot of people in government. And that's a limiting factor in providing well-rounded leadership. So no, you're 100% correct. One of the things every council member needs to think about is risk mitigation, but also moving forward and making progress. It's how do we mitigate risk as we move forward, not just mitigating risk, because you could just mitigate risk and just not do anything.
That's one of my pet peeves in the profession is that so many city managers and city attorneys are so conservative when it comes to managing risk. So conservative that the organization ceases to move forward in accomplishing its main objectives.
Yeah, another thing I learned from you were really good at this. John Benoit taught me this too at the county. The time they had to hire a new county council because one retired, he said, we need somebody who's got a higher degree of risk tolerance, because you cannot let your attorneys dictate your business decisions.